Straight to the point, this is a very important debate on Malaysia's future, and the Selangor state government is proud to be hosting this discussion because unfortunately, to date, the federal government has not been very reluctant to engage with the public at a time when concerns are very high about nuclear power. As we all know, there's a nuclear crisis happening as we speak in Japan, and in the wake of the devastating tsunami, there has been a fresh round of worldwide debates on the merits of nuclear power. And we can see that governments around the region, as well as around the world, have been reversing their support for nuclear power, or at the very least, ordering comprehensive safety reviews of existing plants. So these countries include Germany, Philippines, Taiwan, China, India, Venezuela, and including USA. However, in Malaysia, it's a different matter altogether. And despite calls to change its mind, the Malaysian government has stood firm in its support for nuclear power, as has the Indonesian government, which plans to build a reactor in the seismically active Java. So in light of what has happened in Fukushima, and in light of persistent concerns about nuclear power safety, necessity, economic efficiency, the problems of dealing with nuclear waste, and the government's track record on handling toxic waste and construction projects in Malaysia, we have called this forum together at a very short notice in order to give the public a chance to engage on these issues. And I'd like to let everyone here know that to date, there's only been 2 state governments that have come out very strongly against nuclear power, that is Selangor and Penang. Although a lot of people say, fine, it will not be in Selangor, it may not be in Penang, but any of these nuclear plants within the vicinity, along the coastal areas, will have some effect. So we can say in Selangor we won't allow any nuclear power plants, but if they choose to build it in Johor or in Malacca, for example, along the coastal areas, then if there's any problems at all, the residents of Selangor will indeed suffer. Similarly, in Penang as well. So just a bit of a background, in case people are not aware of. The current Prime Minister, Najib Razak, in fact has been publicly supporting nuclear power since 2005. And when he became Prime Minister in 2009, it rose to the top of his energy agenda. Yet, Malaysia has had a long-standing target for fuel diversification under its 5-fuel policy unveiled in the 8th Malaysian Plan in 2001. Renewable energies were supposed to be the 5th fuel after oil, coal, gas, and big hydro. Nuclear power was never part of that policy. However, Malaysia has failed to achieve the 500 megawatt target for renewable energy. By 2009, only 41 megawatts of renewable energy was installed. And this is despite the existing policy commitment towards renewable energy. The Najib government moved to support nuclear power, approving millions of ringgit of funding overnight. Only more recently, there's some support for renewables, which will be debated in a few weeks' time, where the renewable energy bill will be tabled in Parliament. And I was informed, perhaps YB Tianchua can let us know more. I was informed that today, during question and answer in Parliament, the Minister for Science and Technology told the House that something like 50 million has been approved for a consultancy firm or a consortium to study nuclear power. So it looks very clear, at least to some of us, there's some confusion at the highest levels of government over the difference between renewable energy and nuclear energy, because our energy minister, Petaling, has described nuclear as a renewable energy, and we know that's not true. So despite all these that have gone on, especially in the past few weeks, where there's the world, there's a renewed skepticism towards nuclear energy, Malaysia, on the other hand, has renewed its resoluteness to have nuclear energy in this country. And this is despite the fact that this year we are expected to become the world's number 3 producer of solar cells in the world. So there are some questions that need to be answered. One, does Malaysia really need nuclear power when there are cleaner and cheaper alternatives? 2, why is nuclear power being rushed through? 3, how can nuclear power in Malaysia be considered reliable when even Japan has not been able to overcome secrecy, scandals, and safety mishaps? And finally, a more fundamental question, given Malaysia's extraordinarily high 40% power reserve margin, can't we just cut the margin and remove the need for new power plants? And I hope that this evening we will hear some insights from our 3 distinguished speakers. It's unfortunate that the representative from the Malaysian Nuclear Society for some reason he was not able to make it. But this is not the end of the forums that we plan to organize. We will be organizing in different parts of Selangor. If we're invited to Penang, we will do the same. We will be happy to go there. And we also hope to organize forums in different languages, such as in Mandarin, in Bahasa Malaysia, Tamil, and so on and so forth, so that more people can get more information and so that there can be more debates on this very crucial issue. So on that note, thank you very much again for coming this evening, and I wish you a good forum. Thank you.